Hi, nice to see you again. Welcome to Module 2 Decode Textbook. This is the lecture video for students who choose Learning Path B, which is to explore textbook literacies in sciences and mathematics. For students who would like to explore about literacy and humanity subjects like history, literacies, and language art, you may choose Learning um, Path A. If this is the right learning path video for you, please keep going and watch it. In this lecture video, I'm going to talk about three pieces. First is about a general ag model. It is included in the pre-lecture reading. I hope you finish it. But in this lecture video, I'm going to explain more about it. And the second piece is about general chart. I really would like to introduce this kind of powerful tool for you, and so you can see how it can help us to identify different types of vocabularies in textbook. And third, I'm going to show you how I applied the general ag model when I'm analyzing the mathematics textbook. Now let's first look at this general ag model. This ag model is adapted by Angel Mei Lin in 2010, and there are two ways to explain this genre ag model. We can either explain and understand it through the top-down method, or we can also understand it by bottom-up method. If we understand it by bottom-up level, it means that we can destruct the text like starting from the most inner side of the genre ag model, which is the vocabulary level, and then followed by the sentence level, and then followed by the academic functions, like whether it is used to describe something or whether it shows the sequence of something, and then followed by the academic text types, which is like a historical recount, or whether it is um, like experiment, explanation, or like descriptive biology text, and then followed by the curriculum context. This is the most outside layer of the general ag model. And we can do the vice versa based on the top-down method, which is from the curriculum level, then followed by the text level, academic functions level, sentence pattern levels, and vocabulary levels. I find this really a powerful tool for me to deconstruct the textbook I have, because in most situations, occasions, we instructors or educators, we have an existing textbook, and this general ag model always helps me to like guide me to analyze like what aspect I should focus on, and what elements should I analyze to better support students. And now, I would like to introduce you this general purposes, stages, and phases chart developed by Rose. And this chart shows different types of genres. And for example, like in history, maybe we see history recounts and historical accounts, which we are not like we may not able to see it in our mathematics or sciences class. Like in sciences and mathematics, normally we say like normally see classifying reports, and maybe like descriptive reports. And this, the reason why we need to identify this general type is when we want the students to output or produce a certain general type when they answer the word problems, especially in biology or in sciences, where like in the those big exams, students need to explain the steps of certain scientific report or experiments, or they need to explain the reasons why something happens. They need to know the features of different genre types so they can better like organize their language to express it. Most of in some cases, students may know the answers, but they cannot successfully express it in English. uh, and the efforts we put on helping students to identify the features of certain genre types can better support them understand what keywords may happen or may appear in certain type of genres. That's why we, as educators, we need to understand the genre types first. And now I'm going to introduce you how I apply the genre act model to deconstruct the math textbook. And the textbook example I use is this Algebra 2. Unlike history text or a literacy text, normally in science or math textbook, there will not have like big paragraph of knowledge. Instead, they may contain a lot of equations and expressions. However, we still can notice some um, important elements that general ag model have. For example, the keywords, subject specific keywords. The subject specific keywords means maybe these words have a certain meaning only in this subject. For example, in daily life, we know that right means the right side or right hand or something on the right. Means a place. However, in mathematics, right angle, that right doesn't means like the place. Rather, it means an angle that forms 90-degree. So here, with the Yonner-Ack model, it can help us to identify what kind or what types of words may we need to focus on to explain to students that they have different meanings in this context. And after the analyzing the vocabulary level, maybe we can look at the sentence level. What I notice here is when mathematic or biology, there are a lot of sentences introducing like the definitions, and here I was find that passive voice sentence are frequently used sentence type. So here we may use the sentence structure table to guide students to know that the passive voice be the verb that in the passive word format is normally frequently used when we want to explain um, definition. And um, in mathematics, you will notice that although they don't have like big paragraph of text, they normally have a lot of like word problems that students need to understand how to deconstruct the meaning in the word problem first. And here, like if something happens, what would happen? This is also a long sentence that students need to know, like assuming something happens and what will happen. And here is another example that shows the similar sentence patterns is used. So here is what we educators can do is to help students to deconstruct the long word problem to help them better like get the important information and cues to solve the problem. Because some low achievers English learners, they every time they look at this long word problems, they may be scared. And with those like sentence structure table or helping them to understand some signaling words like how much means it asks for like the money, and then it may better help them to like solve the problem and help them to be mentally like prepared for solving long word problem. And this is how um, I applied the genre act model to identify what types of language aspect that students need to master in their textbook. So this is the video for module 2. and I'm going to upload the related files into the module. And don't forget to complete the post lecture assignment. See you in the next module.